and said yes, thank you. That would be very nice. Maples forced a smile on his face and greeted Lady Frances as Cardiff showed her to a chair and then left, quietly closing the door behind him. "A pleasure as always, Lady Frances." "My pleasure too, Superintendent. You have been so helpful in the past. I knew I had to see you again." She remembered the first time she had argued her way into his office. The streets around the mission where they set up their soup kitchen were so dangerous, some people were afraid to come. Couldn't additional officers be deployed? A few weeks later, emboldened, Frances had returned. While organising a peaceful political meeting in the park, she and her friends had been heckled and jeered. Couldn't the superintendent read them the riot act? The third time she came, it was to complain that his officers were harassing beggars who drifted too close to well-heeled areas looking for richer handouts. "I'm not a lawyer, Superintendent, but I do not think it is actually a crime to be poor." And now she was back again, regarding a crime, it seemed. "I understand you are here about a crime. I hope your ladyship has not been a victim." "Not at all, but thank you for your concern." She smiled. "I'm here about a family friend, Major Colcombe, who died in an accident about 2 months back. It seems an important manuscript of his was stolen from his house shortly after his death." So that's what this was. And next he'd be asked to help find the Duchess of Something's lost lapdog. He vaguely recalled the Colcombe case, not something he was directly involved with, but a minor scandal nonetheless. Colcombe was a war hero, a member of society, but it was just some clumsiness with firearms. "It's probably just missing," he said. "After his family gets around to fully cleaning out his rooms, I'm sure it will turn up." "And that is exactly what I thought," said Lady Frances brightly. She knew this was going to be an uphill battle, and on the way over she'd rehearsed in her mind exactly what to say to the superintendent, who could be, she had found, a little resistant to change. She quickly launched into a description of the search they had conducted, the security situation at the house, the unlikelihood the manuscript had casually disappeared, and her theory that the thief had been someone who'd shown up at the funeral. She produced a list. She was brief and to the point. "We put marks next to names of people we didn't know very well. I wrote out 2 copies, one for me to hold and one for you." Maples looked at the list and frowned. This was not what he expected from a civilian. Lady Frances's account was organised and coherent, and her procedure for looking for the manuscript and conclusions made a lot of sense. He reviewed the names. "So you see, Superintendent, I believe that the manuscript was stolen and wish to pursue the theft with the correct authorities." There, she had made a clear, concise case, and she flattered herself that Maples had been impressed. "Have you thought about why someone would steal such a manuscript?" "Perhaps he discussed things that other people did not want made public, but without seeing the manuscript, it's just a guess." This was a more complicated problem than it had initially appeared. Lady Frances, he had to admit, had made a very good start. Fortunately, although it was a difficult problem to solve, it was also easy to get rid of. He could simply send her to the officer who was handling that case. "Would you like to speak with the inspector who investigated the accident? He'd be the best person." "Yes, that would be very helpful, thank you." Frances felt very pleased with herself. She could see that Maples, in the course of their professional relationship, was beginning to respect her. As they had discussed in their suffragist meetings, many men would learn to respect women once they saw they could act reasonably, as opposed to the way so many men falsely assumed, merely emotional creatures, slaves of their whims. Maples rang for Sergeant Cardiff and then told him to call the relevant station and find the inspector who had handled the Colcombe accident. When he left, Maples leaned back, feeling generous and expansive. No reason not to be complimentary and build some good feeling, especially as she deserved it. "Your account and handling of the problem was very good, Lady Frances. Clean and organised." Then he overdid it to his regret. "I wish all my men were so well organised." "Really? How kind of you to say. I had wondered if perhaps there might be a place for women in the Metropolitan Police Service." What an exciting concept. Imagine that. Women police constables. "Can I make a formal proposal to open the police force to women?"